Good morning. Today is a day with very little planning and I have absolutely no idea if I'm going to have any success whatsoever. So I have packed my basic kit of a 24-105 and my 100-500. I'm sat in the car waiting for my photo buddy Ben to get his backside out of bed and yeah, we're going somewhere, not sure where. Ever an adventurous woman. At least this time of year when Ben has one of these, hey, let's just see where we end up ideas, at least it means I only have to get up out of bed at 6 o'clock and not stupid o'clock as I do in the summer. That kills me. Last night, Clear Outside told me I was going to get 100% cloud this morning. We have 0%, so yeah, not the most helpful app at the moment.
There might be some potential here, huh? Clouds to the north. And don't forget to turn left up here.
We haven't fallen out. I'm just trying to concentrate because sometimes he does change his mind.
We might be able to go to the other view down there.
I was going to say exactly that. I reckon that might be better because that's facing north.
Wait for it.
It's a bit of a walk though, so we can drive up this way, can't we?
Well, who knew there was going to be a bit of a cloud inversion?
It's freezing fog.
Well, I confess I wasn't expecting this. A little bit of a cloud inversion, I'll stick with that until I'm corrected. And yeah, it's snow and South Downs. So yeah, starting to get some pinks in the sky. Sorry for making you feel sick over here. Considering it was a bit of a long shot, well, it's not a bad idea to come out, was it? Can't believe I'm saying that. Right, I reckon long lens might be a good idea, simply so I can pick out some vignettes in the mist. Although the pink's rather nice. So many decisions. All right, as you'll see, the sky is starting to kick off behind us, but we're just going to see whether or not there's anything in the opposite direction as well.
You're really going to expose my nerdy side.
As a backup plan, Ben has bought some bubbly stuff because he's really good at frozen bubbles.
Not champagne, bubble mixture. The secret ingredient, you were laughing, is corn syrup. Thickens up the bubbles, they last longer and then they'll freeze. So it's -3 right now. That equates to frozen bubbles.
Just so you're aware of what I'm talking about, this is Ben's bubble work. He's releasing a video on it very shortly. I'll link that when it goes live.
That's definitely a cleaner view from here. So I've got to capture it.
Okay, so this may be a classic-ish view, but I don't love it, and that's why I haven't done it justice.
Ben has bought himself a self-flying drone.
This is how professionals do it.
And it's quite something.
It's upsetting that dog though.
It is upsetting that dog.
I'll bring it down.
Okay, I know we've got lots of footprints in that snow, but I reckon if I go back to that previous position, wait for the colour in the sky, and the magic will happen.
Okay, that's a bit better. It needed a certain je ne sais quoi. But why is this location so good?
With some locations you're committed once you're there because it's quite a trek. This is a bit of a let's park and run 50 metres. So Ben's new drone doesn't have a remote. Well, it does, but he's chosen not to use it. So he sent it out 20 metres and we're on a hill. So it came into the hill and nearly at the cars.
It's all under control.
All under control, my backside.
So we spent a merry few minutes walking up and down, hoping that something gorgeous was going to happen and assessing the situation. Do you know what? It did. It was gorgeous.
We had some lovely light on those hills there, but actually what I'm interested in is putting out a long lens and going over, and I don't know if you can see, but noisy! In the distance, we have got some hills that are catching pink right now. I tell you what, let me jump on flipping camera and you'll see.
That's better. What you're seeing in the background is Surrey Hills, towards Box Hill. But what you're seeing in the foreground, well, that's just gorgeous. I was rather enchanted with this wintry scene, so I hung around to see what was going to happen with the light. I think it was well worth it.
Which is why that long lens is so flipping useful, picking out stuff that just you can't see it when you're on that you're on. And because this time of year the sun is so low in the skies, you can see by the shadows here actually, well, it means you've got a longer shooting time.
This handheld intimate scene was shot from about 1.5 kilometres away over a busy road. I don't love it, and I think it's because the sun is too high. I far prefer the side-lit version that's shown here, shot at a very different time of year. So, despite our earlier aversion to walking places, we decided to trundle off over the South Downs to a place that we'd shot before, in very similar circumstances actually. Crikey, this was a long time ago. Thankfully things have changed an awful lot in my photography since then.
The benefits of going out without having any plans really is, well, everything's a surprise, I said earlier, but it also can mean that you're running around like a headless chicken going from location to location, particularly if you have a limited amount of time where the light is optimal. Now, because it's winter, because it's low, we are able to get some lovely extended times shooting, but we are still going around like headless chickens going, what's north facing, what's south facing? Because south facing hills, as you can see behind me, well, there's pretty much no snow on it. North facing, if I scoot you around here, there's a fair whack.
So, in summary...
Glad I got my butt out of bed.
Oh, there's that mosquito again. Why do I have to work with such a child? I must confess, this is actually quite an impressive piece of kit. Ben will explain.
This one should go out in front of us.
Okay. This goes out in front of us apparently.
And you'll think, well, if it's always flying away from me, how the hell do I get it back? Because I've not got a controller. So in theory, don't let me down, you hold out your hand and then it will come back to you. In theory. It's working. Yes.
This is so impressive, man.
There we go. Fun.
Idea number 6, probably of the morning. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I've got ones here that are going to be better. Ben, any ideas as to where we might want to explore? Is it worth doing another 25 minutes down that hill?
That way?
Yeah.
Well, we could follow the ridge along and go to Stump Bottom.
We're going to follow the ridge along and go to Stump Bottom. Oh my God, that's a long way. Crack on. Some you win, some you lose. I just can't be bothered to walk 25 minutes down there to get nothing. Whereas at least if I walk half an hour up and over the hills, there might be a possibility of something. It's all about hope.
Do you know what? I think I've put my finger on it. Landscape photography is so much about hope. And no matter how much I was panting and wheezing walking over these hills, the hope that I was going to get a banger was keeping me going.
Ben said to me, we just go up the hill, it's not very far. About 40-45 minutes later, okay, I'm slow, we're kind of approaching somewhere that may be okay.
It was great. Hush your whinging, woman.
This doing things spontaneously, it's not for everybody. Maybe I should just stop whinging, because actually that's quite nice. Now I like a zigzaggy line, and I've got some zigzags going on here. Bit of a crop in. I've got anything from sort of 100 right the way through to maybe 460-ish. And it's working quite well, particularly because we've got the darks and the lights kind of zigzagging in there.
Most shots you'll see of this place actually eradicate the sky. I think I haven't in this case because the light was just really high and it lacked a bit of impact.
But what I've got my heart set on is something I saw from over the hill, and I just need to get past some scrubbiness so I might have more of a clear view of some of the mist that's hanging around in the valley.
It was so good to dump that heavy kit and go handhold just picking out those shots.
This really is just one of those glorious mornings where you stick on your long lens, you just pick out stuff and feel the warmth of the sun on your face. It's one of those surprise times which just feels a bit like a gift. So maybe I should have no plans a bit more often. And this morning I had absolutely no vision because young Ben there had not told me where we were going, just said pack your lenses, let's see what happens. Well, before I take my final few shots of the morning and make my way a huge distance to the car, that's what it feels like anyway, I'd just like to say thank you so much for joining me today. I've had fun. I feel like I've whinged a bit. I'm sorry if I have, but what a nice time. Maybe I should be a little bit more spontaneous more often. Maybe that's a lesson to learn. Take care. I'll see you next time.